guys, I'm SDN Wolf. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Saturday at the Springs. If you're new, this is a series we do every Saturday morning, and it's basically a recap of what we have gotten done on our flagship resort project here, Wilderness Springs. Wilderness Springs is a dual resort property. You've got the water park and the Great Falls Lodge, like the actual grand hotel and convention center over on the water park side, and then adjacent to that on the other side of our highway you have the theme park component of Wilderness Springs. And yeah, every Saturday we just dive in and we chat about what has been changed, what kind of progress we made. And this Saturday we're actually going to do something we don't typically do, and we're going to start over here in the water park section because this has went through a massive revamp from the original kind of design I had going on with kind of what we call Wilderness Springs 1.0. Wilderness Springs had finished a couple months ago, but then we decided to come back in and kind of relook at it and try to just give it a little better effort than the original design that we had laid out. And that's kind of why we call this Wilderness Springs 2.0. So we're going back and we're applying techniques and different things that we've learned over the months, since November, and just trying to make things look better, just trying to be more imaginative and, just trying to put together a better resort product. And that starts with this episode, this Saturday, looking over the pool area, and we have widened all of the paths. I even think just visually from the air, this looks so much better. A lot of you guys said we needed to widen the wave pool. The wave pool here is Thunder Bay, so you can go in there and splash around and get clobbered by the waves. We have extended out this western wall here and kind of even pushed out a little bit over here on this wall and just made it a little bit larger. So that is, I think, another thing that looks looks a lot better from the air. You'll notice the entranceway, we had kind of started a crusade on putting the springs back in Wilderness Springs. So that's what we did over here with kind of like this little bit of dead space I had. I just put a water feature in, and we put it up like Thunder Bay is kind of like, this Viking fort area. So I thought those pillars and that rock work looked really well. Got some benches over here, and like I mentioned, just looked at how could we improve guest flow, and I think we did that. We removed a lot of foliage, removed quite a bit of trees, but I think the trees now are a lot they're a lot more strategically placed than they were pre Wilderness Springs 2.0. So I think, the trees, the ones we do have, just look a lot better now than they did. Oh, I've got an update on our little diving cliffs. I have seen some people use them now. I don't really know. It could be one of two things. The first thing that I tried was I made sure this area right here, this larger area, was diving depth. So, I kind of just went in and just made the whole little area right here diving. And also, like a couple of you all suggested, I went ahead and I hit a little lifeguard over here, and he basically watches over this whole section of pool. And when I did that, people started using the rocks. So here she comes right now. Let's see what she does. She's gonna jump. There we go. So we've got some rock diving cliffs now. So if you're having trouble with that, I suggest, for one, make sure you've got diving depth in, and two, get you a lifeguard near your little diving platforms. So yeah, that's just kind of like a crude little, I don't even know if this stuff will stay once we're able to do the recolorable rocks, because I kind of want to do some slides over here. You guys were saying that this pool in particular, this larger first wade pool, is severely lacking in the slide department that you think you would see here. So we will get started on that as well. this is your little entrance area that takes you into the water park. It's almost like you're going through this Viking village. And so, yeah, and then over here, this is the area that we've got some plans for. I might want to do like almost like a Disney river country natural pool area over here, almost like a lake, if you will, and get some slides and stuff and different designs up over there eventually. You've got their little parking lot out here, and this is your little main entrance area where you drive into the water park, and that guy's going to get hit by a bus. That's a lawsuit. We're definitely going to have to sell some tickets now. Other changes, we've got your, at the beginning of this week, I changed the color of the monorail, and everybody in those earlier videos seemed to really, really like the new color scheme of the monorail. I went with this really dark blue, and just yesterday gave it this gold band. And I just think that looks really, really cool. And you can see they are taking guests back to the water park resort, or, you know, what we're saying in our heads, guests have just left the theme park and they're going back to their room for a nap, because that's kind of how we have it set up. The monorail runs from the convention center, from the Great Falls Lodge over here, and it runs all the way down the 4-lane, turns, and the theme park has its own station over here. So, you know, the whole point of it was we were envisioning that you can just leave your room, put your do not disturb on the door, go downstairs, jump on the monorail if you're not going to the water park right then, and ride the monorail to the theme park. So you essentially never have to leave and get in your car. Like, this could definitely be one of those resorts where, like, when you park, when you get here, you don't technically ever have to get out of your car again. We have the infrastructure and the transportation set up to where we can get you back and forth to the theme, to both parks. With never leaving, you never have to get back in your vehicle. We do have some off-site shopping and little things to do. You'll notice we've got some sidewalks all the way down through here. We've got some gas stations, bumper cars. We have a little tower that, like a crossing tower with, implied elevators, so you can get across the highway safely there. And we've got just some little Pigeon Forge-esque type little shows. We've got a little Pal's fast food down here. And if you wanted to walk, you can see the sidewalk takes you all the way in front of the sign where you can take a picture of. And it continues over a boardwalk that goes over the springs, and it dumps you out right here where you can go in and scan your ticket and, go through security and all that. And this is kind of like your main entrance hub into the theme park. And when you come in here, you are greeted by the springs that are inside the park, the big water tower. My buddy Yan's big coaster back there, kind of really, really love this silhouette, Barnstormer. And another new addition, a little update for you, is I brought in Plastic Swan, insanely talented creator. I brought in her Whole Food restaurant vegan store. So I thought that building just fit perfect right here on Main Street, and it complements Mufu Tea's little Main Street buildings, I think, really, really well. Even kind of being separated from them, I just think it offers some really good verticality. They both, like, even, probably like not knowing each other, their eye for scaling, both of their buildings work out perfect. They complement the Main Street area absolutely perfect. And so that is just kind of one of those weird accidents that I'm like, I can use her vegan restaurant over here. That would be perfect. You've got the two kind of like the little the bridges that take you across the springs and over here into the Grizzly area. I don't know if I'm going to call it Grizzly Gulch anymore. I might call it Grizzly Valley, because I don't know, like a gulch you think like the guests would go down deeper and there would be high sides on each side. So I might call it, I might change that name because I don't really, I think I think Grizzly Valley rolls off the tongue better anyway. And then of course that would make sense too, having Grizzly Peak over here on the left side because it is the mountain, it's higher over there. It is the peak of the mountain. Oh, another thing that one of my buddies left a really long comment kind of explaining how, and you know, I know some of you guys may have mentioned this before as well, how the Saloon might look a little out of place now that it doesn't really match Bear Paw. He was saying, what if we took the Saloon and actually put it over here kind of at the end of the Grizzly Mine Train area. I still think it looks good where it's at. I think it's a good splitting point for right here that takes you into Enchanted Forest. It's kind of just become a little staple of the area now, so I don't know, I'd probably almost feel bad removing it, but give me your updated thoughts now that this land has fleshed out a little more. Do we keep the Saloon there? I just, you know, whatever I think I end up putting there, I don't think it would look as good as Haribo's Saloon. I just think that it ended up the way that path works out right here. The Saloon just ended up perfect. And I don't know, I guess, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to match Bear Paw. They can kind of be their own little entities here, but yeah, you guys have to give me your updated thoughts on the Saloon. And that is a lot of basically what was messed with. Like I said, this week you really need to think in terms of the water park. That is where a lot of my attention went as far as the resort goes. So not a lot going on other than huge thanks and shout out to Plastic Swans for her vegan restaurant right there that I think complements the entrance area really, really well. I have never felt better about how Wilderness Springs sits right now out of the entire, 5-6 months that we've been working on this. This resort has never been in better shape than it is right now on, May 10th? So, and also too, guys, remember, I will update this and get this on the workshop. So this exact version right here, you will be able to download here probably in the next 20-30 minutes. It might even go live before the video's done. So, yeah, this is our little Phantom Manor area. If you guys are new, the what we're going to call the Grizzly Valley area, it is a mining town, and you know, we've got the Grizzly Peak, the Grizzly Peak mine. You've got your Phantom Manor back here, and we have a little Helter Skelter, and the manor is kind of the story of the owner of the mine was a not so nice guy, and he is forever watching over his mine and all of you all kind of coming through his area. And there is an implied dark ride in that building that kind of, tells the story of the Grizzly Mine and kind of what happened to him. And yeah, how his spirit kind of still watches over Grizzly Valley. So that's kind of like what encompasses this entire area. It was really kind of almost the park's first true land. Then when you move over here, you kind of get into the Legend of Thunder Falls area, and you've got the Legend of Thunder Falls, which is like a log flume ride that we haven't messed with in a while. Definitely need to get back over here and start looking at that. Not quite ready yet. My buddy Herman he's already got a little bit of a station area worked out for me. He sent me the code. I need to get that downloaded and get that put in and kind of come back over here and refocus on this a little bit because as you can see right here, when you leave the mountain and do this little drop, we are going to have an indoor section. So the log flume is going to go through a little show building back here before it winds its way back to the main drop, which is you kind of escaping the escaping the creature that is going to be inside the mountain, inside the Thunder Falls area. And then its little sister property over here is Timberwolf's Revenge. So this is the park's kind of like staple wooden coaster. Very, very popular ride over here towards the back of the park. And nothing really messed with Enchanted Forest. This is like our small, like hidden, almost like a kid area back here. Kid land. Very, very mild kid coaster back here. And my buddy Wolf Tenor gave me the skin for this little flat ride right here. Another very, very popular ride. Took out the teacups for now. I've just been trying some different rides in that little area. And then, of course, we've got room over here. I was even thinking maybe this could be like a calming spring area. Like because we have a little creek that runs through Enchanted Forest and under that bridge and by the massive willow tree. I was thinking if we want to keep it a little more, quieter and calm, I could make this a little spring pond area like you see, like we have dotted out throughout the park. And then, we could do one more flat ride over here. Actually, probably two more kid-focused flat rides could go in right there. So, I don't know. We'll have to kind of see. I kind of like that idea of, softening this area up with some water. And you can see water is a pretty heavy theme in Wilderness Springs as far as all of the different little caverns and creeks and ponds go. So yeah, that is your Saturday at the Springs, guys. So I hope you guys could imagine rolling up here at, 9 o'clock in the morning and running in and trying to make a beeline for your favorite ride, or grabbing like a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant sandwich from one of the restaurants. That sounds really good right now, like a sausage, egg, and cheese, or a bacon, egg, and cheese croissant sandwich with maybe some hash browns and maybe an orange juice. I think that that sounds really, really good. Maybe Bear Paw could have some breakfast items, a breakfast menu, not just lunch. And Bear Paw is our new little cafe from last weekend. And yep, so this is it. The last thing I'll show you is, remember we were talking about having a little condo building has popped up over here in Willow Grove. And this little area out here is all retail. We've got a Bass Pro Shop out here. We've got a Cracker Barrel. And there are plans for a lot more retail out here in this area. It just so happened that this week, I have kind of really more focused on the water park over retail or even the theme park side of things. So, we'll get back to it. We're just plugging away at it. We're having fun. And we are just kind of taking our time now with Wilderness Springs 2.0. And that is what's so fun about it. I've told you guys before, there's no launch pressure. We are under absolutely no pressure to get, it's funny. We're under no pressure to get videos out. And I'm like putting more videos out than I ever have. And that just goes to show you, any of you guys that are thinking about creating content, 1000% do not force it. Forcing it leads to burnout, leads to not so great designs. And I think Wilderness Springs is a testament of taking your time and just not forcing anything. And these builds, when you do that, they come naturally. Show you a little bit of the lighting package before we take off. And you can see I've got quite a bit of lighting left. I need to do. I lit Jan's Barnstormer a couple days ago. Bear Paw still lit pretty good. The Manor, I kind of purposely kept it a little dark and creepy. This area over here definitely lacks some lighting. Gotta need to kind of work on that. Legend of Thunder Falls has a wonderful lighting package right now, particularly the little posts that stick up on the bridge and that drop. Highway needs some lights. Yeah, but you know, as far as nighttime goes, we've got it looking pretty cool. Pools are glowing. Need to work on some lighting packages over here, probably, even though I know the water parks aren't really known for being open at night, but you could still think maybe we'd have some throughout the year. You'd have some after hours events where you know, like I said, we show a movie over the wave pool and stuff like that. So, but yeah, this is coming along pretty cool. So anyways, guys, I'm S. Dan Wolf. As always, appreciate you guys stopping by. Let me know what you think about all the changes and the direction of the resort, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.